What was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town. Are you scared of aliens? Well, you should.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. It's the Weird Whatever podcast. Now, I know last week we said we would be in the studio, the WRMF studio this week, but unfortunately, that is not the case. There was a leak in our roof area. They're doing some construction there. That's kind of slowed it down a bit. Also, Vicky had some, I guess, some car issues today. It just didn't line up for this week, but next week we'll be out there kicking. Enough of the boring bullshit details. Let's get into some weird stuff. Let's get into the headlines. We talked about this on the KVJ show. I want to get the weirdo's opinion on this in the chat room. An Australian woman claims she woke up from tonsil surgery sporting an Irish accent. It's called foreign accent syndrome. It is a real thing. Now, we played this earlier and nobody thought she was legit. Everyone thinks she's faking it. I want to get your guys' opinions. Birdney, go ahead.
I woke up with an Irish accent and I've never been to Ireland before. And I went to the hospital and they couldn't provide any answers. At this stage, I don't think it's going to get better.
I don't know. Give me lucky terms. I'm not sure I'm buying this.
I mean, how good's everyone's Irish accent here? Because I feel like that could easily be fake. She's only doing like one sentence.
Well, are you trying to go ahead and get us into an Irish accent off? Because if you are, I'm taking the bait, brother.
I'm throwing down the Irish accent gauntlet.
All right.
To Denny's point, I think it'd be interesting to know the quality of the accent. Is it like on point or is it messy?
Birdney, if you don't mind, could you please give us your best Irish accent?
I went to the store the other day and saw a leprechaun.
That's all you got? I didn't know Irish.
What is an Irish person? What's like a stereotypical thing that an Irish person says?
Oh,
I know they had a potato famine.
Yeah, like I feel like I know a Scottish accent better than an Irish one. An Irish accent.
That's how you do it. Yeah.
Top of the morning to you. They stole my Lucky Charms.
Yeah. I mean, there's your typical just shitty accent that everybody does. Denny's?
Well, you'd be talking the Irish accent there, bringing out the losses, if you will, putting back points.
That was actually really good.
Denny's kind of gave it his all.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
How about you, Bird?
Oh, I don't know. Where's my Irish Spring? Where's my Lucky Charms? Where is the leprechauns?
Pretty good.
Pretty awful. But yeah, what's the chat room saying, Birdie? Are they buying this woman's accent? No. Or are they saying this bullshit?
They think it's fake. Although, like, kind of to go off of what I think Beckett or Denny's was saying, like, is it a full accent or is it you just now sound like you have a different accent? What is the proper definition of the syndrome?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Let's say you do have this syndrome and you just have a shitty Irish accent. That's just part of it. You think you're talking Irish and it comes out terrible.
It's so weird. If you were a giant Harry Potter fan, like you loved it and you've seen the movies a bunch, maybe if you got hit in the head, you could revert to the English accent that they speak in that just from being so familiar with it. But to jump spontaneously to an Irish accent without having, like, even for me, I don't even know what a lot of Irish words would sound like. You know, I have no reference in my brain to go on. I don't know how your brain could make you speak another accent.
Would it surprise you if you got hit in the head by some lumber and then you woke up from a coma and then you started talking with a Brooklyn accent?
I mean, I would be shocked. I watched a lot of mob movies in my youth, but definitely would never develop a Brooklyn accent.
I mean, we've talked about people getting hit in the head and then becoming savants. Why is that a thing? And the accent is not.
Well, so I think if certain sectors of your brain are affected by blunt trauma or whatever, maybe it causes sectors to function better or less better. And that combination could give you some sort of mathematical, or maybe allow you to see patterns you've never seen before, but to make an accent out of thin air. Like I couldn't even, if I had to do a South African accent, I would struggle because I've only heard a handful of people speak that accent. I don't know if my brain could even, I would be speaking more just a foreign accent in general than an actual localized accent. I can only think it affecting your speech pattern.
It's interesting. Tell me, I know this quality probably annoys Jaybird probably the most, but I had a friend she lived abroad one summer in London. And when she got drunk, she all of a sudden had a British accent.
Becky,
she said like she wasn't me. It was the most.
Not to interrupt you. Can you talk more into the microphone? It sounds like you are talking into a shoe.
Yeah, I have the Bluetooth. I can go back to just my normal mic.
You're
He's in space.
of course. Becky.
Have you guys ever heard of the term xenoglossy? It's an actual thing where a person is able to speak or write a language they could not have acquired by natural means. So this reminds me of that, like with the accent. But can you imagine, like you hit your head, so the stories I heard is like a kid was born and they knew their mother tongue language, but then they also learned, they were fluent in another language.
So I could see in situations where you're maybe raised in a country and then at a very young age move to another country and learn both languages and lose the initial language, get hit on the head, and then develop the ability again to speak that initial language. But if it's a language out of nowhere, I find that so remarkable.
Yeah, there's a story of a girl like who knows all these languages. She knows multiple languages and she's never been around anyone. Like that makes me believe in past lives or something. Because
well, then you wonder if there's a divine power at hand, yeah, that allows information to travel like through people.
Yeah, I agree with all of your takes. I think they're all interesting. Beckett, are you in not to get back to Beckett? And
my mic should be good now. My mic's good now, no?
Are you in a car?
I saw that.
He's in a spaceship.
Beckett, are you in a car? Beckett, hold on. Stop talking for a second, please. Are you in a car right now?
Yes, that's why I have the cool background.
Gosh. Well, that's why you're choppy. All right.
That's so funny.
Okay. You guys, were you guys worried about the rocket coming down from the sky
debris
this weekend? That was a big topic of discussion. Now, I'll tell you who was pissed about this rocket. NASA. Bernie, if you don't mind, if you could play that clip. NASA's pissed off. They're calling out whatever went down.
This is the second largest uncontrolled reentry in the last couple of decades. The previous one was the previous version of this launch last May. And that one rained pieces down in Eastern Africa and did some damage, I believe. Most people thought they would have learned their lesson and not done it again. You know, they're 2 for 2 with this particular design. So the question people have asked is, did they not plan for this? And if not, why not?
That's what somebody that loves space sounds like when they're pissed.
How could they do such a thing, an atrocity like this?
I tell you what. No, that's
well, I mean,
we were talking about it at the birthday party, you know, what if the rocket landed in our backyard, how do we handle that?
Yeah, what's the protocol for that? Because
Bernie, were you at all nervous, Bernie, about that?
Was I nervous of it landing on me? No, I was more worried about people that would not know about this or who it could potentially land on. That's what I was more nervous about, was other people. But I agree with now. So it's kind of like, that's so unperfect. Like, you would think that the highest minds in the world who are able to create something such as this would at least consider, oh wait, maybe we should have like this not happen because it could potentially kill people anywhere in the world. It just does kind of seem reckless.
Denny's follow-up, piggybacking.
Yeah, I find that to be negligence. I just think it's funny because if they don't have the same guidelines we have for their space travel and how they have to settle these things, then it's kind of going to be a constant gamble. I wonder if this can be an ongoing thing, or if they're going to actually get together and make sure that they don't do it. Because this is the second time they did this, right?
They were saying,
Yeah.
So they just don't care. Yeah, I think they're going to keep doing it. So.
Well, the Chinese say often, they're like, listen, America had their coal revolution. They had their growing pains to get to where they are. So why is it unfair for us to go through same stages of similar advances in technology?
Yeah, true. I mean, I can see the points, but it is very reckless.
I do want to get into an email that one of the weirdos sent us. It says, "Dear Weird and Whatever, I just recently left a cult. It was a legit cult where there was a leader. He was evil. He said his name was Nunu from the planet Xenox. Obviously, none of this was real. I just wanted to say that cults are real, and it's a problem in our country that goes underreported. Sometimes police never find out that they ever existed. If anyone's ever been in a cult before, I'd love to talk to you. My name is Ida. Has anyone ever been in a cult before? It always just makes me think of that one Boy Meets World episode, Denny's, where Sean joined what Corey thought was a cult.
Yeah, that's one of the 2 episodes that you love on that show. But I had a friend, I think, at a young age. So it was weird when we were growing up. I guess you could say through the 90s, late 80s, it was really big. Cults were pushed on television as a thing to watch out for kids to get lured into. So there's a lot of cult talk saying, watch out for cults and stuff. So I was on the defense, but I had a friend that actually got kind of involved in one, not so much a robe and chanty type cult, but more so like they recruited kids that were kind of influential in the area, meaning like, they were young and hip, and they would use them to try to sell drugs. So, but it was but it was disguised as like a hangout type situation,
Can me and you do a little role playing? I want to play the role of the kid, the innocent kid. You play the cult person and how they would entice them, because I want this to be a PSA for the people watching here. All right, so I'm just chilling.
Hey, come and hang out with us. We got a skate park to the left. All our friends here. We're all friends here. We are all family. We all hang out. We skate together. You like skating, right?
Who the fuck are you? I'm just chilling over here. And you just come up to me and say, "Hey, man, you like skating?" I don't know you.
Well, something must have brought you here. Be it curiosity, loneliness.
I'm just hanging out outside, man. I thought there was going to be chicks here. Then you roll up on me talking about skating. Bitch, leave me alone.
Well, we do have chicks, as you call them, here as well. To the right at our refreshment stand, we have like the hangout zone. We got movies, large projector. We got blankets. People are having picnics. We're just all friends. We're all family. We all come here. We all have like interest. We're kind of outcast ourselves, probably as I imagine you are yourself, coming here to this random location.
Do you ever shut the fuck up?
All right.
Okay,
Well, so
end scene.
Time out. I thought we were already starting as we had our communication started. I kind of went with it, but I thought we were.
I thought that went well. Birdie, what were your thoughts on that? How that went?
I feel like that sounds like any organization you go to. They're like, and over here we have coffee and cookies. Like, I feel like there's so many, like, we think of cults as the chants and the robes, but I feel like you can categorize lots of different things as cults.
Yeah. In fact, we talked about that on the show. There's many things.
The KVJ cult.
Yeah.
I think Denny's crushed it. I think he was pretty convincing. I think it sounded like he's done it before.
Well, no, but I do appreciate it.
I'm the one here that's got cult hair. Come to me, my people. All right. So if anyone has been in a cult, let's let's have Ida feel better about her situation. I'm sure strength in numbers would be nice. So I think with all that, it might be time for some
Denny's random facts.
Denny's is our man of the hour. He's going to give you some factoids. Some of them are going to be great. Some of them are going to be shitty. Vicky's not here tonight. So Birdney, who's our other educator, she's going to grade all of his factoids. If he does awesome, he gets an A. If it sucks, she fails him. Denny's, the floor is yours.
All right. So a recent study, as recent as March, has established that more twins are being born now than ever. The number went up from 9 to 12 twins per 1,000 deliveries. That currently adds up to about 1.6 million twins born each year, meaning 1 out of every 42 babies currently is a twin. What do you guys think about this escalating number of twins? Could you live in a future where we get used to the fact that there's pretty much 2 people that look similar or identical? It'll be just a commonplace thing.
I gotta tell you, that's a great factoid in my opinion, and I would give that an A. But Birdney, it's really up to you.
So let me get the number straight on this. 1 out of every 2 people is a twin.
1 out of every 42 born.
42. I was like, that does not sound right.
But that 1 out of every 42 born is a twin across the world.
And that's been rising?
It's been steadily increasing. And I was trying to look into what's causing it, and they don't know what's causing it. But it seems to be, it used to be twins were rare. And then each year that's gone by, they've gone up. There's been more twins. And remember, there was an article we talked about a while back. I'll share my screen here, but I'm wondering, I was wondering if twin birth rates were increasing because of cellular phones carrying in our pockets, being near our genitals. I hate to use that term. That was one theory. But also they say the use of plastics, and this is the big scare. Pollution. Plastics are shrinking male genitals in babies. Babies are being born with smaller dicks.
No.
It started in the mid 70s.
But yeah, it's a plastic that we use, and it's not even just the men. The females also are becoming infertile. It's they're actually concerned about it. I know the first article I pulled up is from the Sun, but yeah, they're concerned that in the future people aren't going to be able to reproduce because of plastic, one of our most used items.
See, I don't know if it would be plastic. I would think that it just correlates with plastic and people waiting till longer time and the food that we eat and all that. I feel like there's so many other contributing factors to that.
They say it's from the plastic seeping.
And don't forget IVF. A lot of people are doing IVF.
What?
IVF, what is that?
The IVF, like the in vitro fertilization, because people are waiting, to Birdney's point, later in life to have kids. So they do a lot of stuff that increases their egg production, their sperm production, artificial insemination, and a lot of those scenarios often have twins or triplets even.
Oh yeah, like correlating it to yeah. I mean,
so
I'll give it an A for this conversation.
Here's my question, and I don't mean to be vulgar, but I'm a journalist. I'm the host of this program, and I got to ask the tough questions. If the dicks are getting smaller, does that mean the clits are too?
The clits are affected as well,
Yeah.
and the fallopians.
I mean, a penis is nothing but an extended clit, so it would make sense.
So what they say is the bottles that the formulas are in, the rubber nipples, if they don't use the latex ones, they're saying the plastic that are in kids' toys, they're saying all the plastic that humans touch in general seeps in through our skin, through the water. There's microparticles. And what it does is it confuses your body and it produces less hormones to create your reproductive organs. And in birth causes genitals in men to shrink and infertility in women. And they're worrying, it's a growing concern that they say maybe in 100 plus years, there's a chance of infertility.
Did you see the thing too, where it's not in 100 years, but I believe maybe within 1,000, our heads are going to get super, super giant and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where they're kind of morphing like an alien. All right, Denny's, I didn't mean to upstage you as you were.
No, I like it. All right. You ever notice back in the day, we always had, everything was copper doorknobs, copper handles. In banks, you would go in, everything's copper, everything. Well, so I never realized, I always just assumed they did that. But if you go in public locations, you'll see a lot of copper. And that's because copper is a natural self-disinfecting metal. So the reason they used it was because in public places and at homes, you'll see silver, you'll see, other colors and such. But in public, you typically see copper because it self-disinfects and it makes cleaning easier. They figured it out a while back. Super random though, right?
I don't know, Birdney. I kind of drifted off.
I give it a C for copper. You're gonna have to come stronger with science facts.
I can't get a B for bronze.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, let's see if this tickles your guys' fancy. So you know how here we have police dogs, you got to watch out for them. We got police horses. We have squads of animals that we use to help us and aid our police here in the United States. Well, as of 2013, China began using geese as sentries. In fact, they have a whole brigade of geese. And the reason they use geese is that if they put females in certain locations, they're incredibly territorial and they make immense amount of noise if disrupted. So in parks, people are taught to run to the geese so that they start honking, and that alerts the guards. And ever since they've implemented this in 2013, their crime has gone down because of the geese brigade. Do you think this is something we should institute maybe in the States?
We have to have geese, I guess, but geese are terrifying.
They are.
I don't know. I don't know if I would run towards geese.
They're incredibly aggressive. That's why they use them.
They're gonna bite your fingers off.
So I guess the use of geese as guards dates all the way back to the Egyptians. It was pretty common. It was geese and baboons were the two big ones.
I just see people sitting down like, we can't fit guards in the budget. What should we do? They're like, geese are fucking terrifying. And they just like bring in.
So watch out if you're in China. If you get in trouble, run to the geese.
Oh my God.
I'm not to interrupt, but I'm hearing Denny's voice really good. But Birdney, you're a little off the microphone. And Beckett, you keep going in and out. I still think you're driving. All right.
I think he's at the bar. I'm just kidding.
I know, I'm just in the passenger seat.
We can't. I
have them tune in so we can get the numbers. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are driving.
Denny's, as you were.
Yeah.
For the geese.
Yes. So are we moving on to the next topic? I know you love the.
I'll give it a B.
Oh, nice. Let's see. I know you love the Loch Ness Monster of Scotland. Do you know the national animal of Scotland, Bird?
Oh,
the national animal of Scotland.
Of Scotland.
So is that what you want to do during your segment? Call me out, try to dress me down.
It sounds like Birdney knows. I'll call on Birdney.
The unicorn.
The unicorn is the national animal of Scotland. In fact, it dates back in their history. It was a proud beast displayed on the Scottish royal coat of arms back in the 12th century. So
you can see it in the UK too. You see the unicorn.
So they got the Loch Ness Monster and the unicorn.
So My Little Ponies, they were unicorns too, right?
I think they're ponies.
They're not. I thought one of them had a horn. No,
one of them might.
They weren't magical. Can somebody please look up if My Little Ponies had some kind of unicorn? And does anybody remember the theme song? Because I remember it as My Little Pony, so sad and lonely. And I know it's not that. What is that song?
I'm sure we could find it.
I'd have to look it up, but I mean,
Apparently there's not, but it says unicorns were introduced after Earth ponies in the original My Little Pony. So I guess there's like different elements, and some people thought the Earth one, because it has a horn, but apparently they're not unicorns, they're Earth ponies. So
I thought so.
Beckett, did you ever play with My Little Ponies as a kid?
I did not, but it's probably the reason why I have a lot of clients in Wellington these days. All the pony kids start early.
What did you play with as a kid?
I still have my pillow, the same pillow as I was a kid. I was big into Mario Brothers, but I never really got into dolls, or I guess I had G.I. Joe. I definitely had G.I. Joe as a kid.
All right, Denny. Sorry for that side conversation. I just want to see if Beckett's internet was working.
He's going by a cell tower.
That was a good run. All right, go ahead, Denny's.
So you know how there's these weird laws in different states that are kind of old and they just leave them? In Connecticut, it is illegal to sell pickles that don't bounce if you slam them on the table, because that means that pickle is expired. So looking, well, yeah, it's a good law. It's a good law. They still enforce it. In fact, like a whole bunch of librarians got together and looked up why they have that law. And it's all because of one dispute. That's how easy laws were made back then. In 1945, there's a dispute.
Like that, protecting our food. I don't want no shitty expired pickle.
So if you go to Connecticut and you bounce a pickle and it doesn't bounce, you can have them arrested.
Good. Throw their ass in jail, I say, Birdney.
I mean, it's pretty harsh. But I also found out that in Massachusetts, it's illegal to dance while the Star Spangled Banner is playing. You can't dance. You have to hold still. And you're not even allowed to sing it. And if you do sing it, you have to sing the entire thing. You can't stop halfway through. Otherwise, you get arrested. So don't do it in Massachusetts.
That's pretty patriotic.
I feel like if I lived back when these laws were invented, I would have definitely been dead or in prison right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were pretty ridiculous.
What do you give that, Birdney?
I mean, they're called blue laws, right?
I think that is the...
It's called blue laws.
Those are the ones that don't really get you, but they have them.
Yeah, but they still exist, and I give it a B- because it's an interesting topic, but I feel like everyone kind of knows that. Like that was something that you looked up in middle school or something like that. You're like, did you know you can get like?
I can't wait when we can get back in person, because first of all, the internet is absolutely just fucking terrible tonight. It's a mess. I apologize to the audience. Give us one more week of your patience. I get it. It's shitty. I understand. Don't even have to email me about it. I asked for your opinions last week.
I'm going to email you about it.
It's shitty. I get it. Next week we'll be there. But because of how Birdney just called out Denny's, I like what I just saw, Birdney. That's going to set the stage up real nicely for next week when you guys have a 15-second apiece battle rap against each other.
Battle rap?
Yeah. You're going in on them. You're going in on them hard, Birdney.
Okay. I won't hold back.
That was good. That's how they tend to settle these disputes with battle raps. Yeah, all right.
I want you to know that Metal Beard Dan said F- for all these facts.
Damn,
Metal Beard.
You know what, Birdney? Don't give there's an old saying back in the day in journalism: don't give the serial killer the headline.
All right, I'll try.
Does anybody know what that means?
I can try to guess.
We don't do
No,
that
it
very
means
well.
nothing.
We always give the
It
serial
means-
killer the headline in the United States.
It means nothing.
You just make that up.
Metal. Yeah, that's all made up. Metal Beard Dan in real life is a kitten. He's a sweetheart. And I've heard him a couple times say his favorite segment about weird and whatever is Denny's random facts. So
Perfect.
Very
Get called
nice.
out, Dan.
Redeemed.
He might be fangirling.
Metalbeard fan.
I like your fangirling, Bernie. It's pretty good. All right, Denny's, as you were. One more. Really blow our asses away.
Let's see here. So
You
Another-
checked out?
mysterious thing. They have found that since 1918 to present day, there is a bone that mysteriously appears in some people's knee and doesn't appear in others. They can't figure out why, but some people develop a bone, what's called the fabella, and some people are born without it. They think maybe it's some sort of genetic trait. They think maybe it's a mutation. They don't know. I'll share my screen so you guys can see this cool looking bone here. But yeah, that bone right there, that little insignificant bone, it doesn't do anything except for lead to arthritis, which kind of sucks. But the percentage went up 11% over the last 100 years.
But am I the only one that thinks that one bone kind of looks like a booty?
It kind of looks like the peach emoji.
It kind of looks like a UFO to me.
I looked at it and I thought it was the oh man, I'm failing right now as a Star Wars. What's the ship's name in Star Wars?
Millennium Falcon?
Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
I can see the falcon, but I can also see a booty. Damn. All right. A cool picture, Denny's.
The fabella. Learn it, live it, love it.
I give that a D because I taught that about 4 months ago.
That battle rap's gonna be epic. Epic, Denny's.
I'm hyped.
Did you get that from Palm Beach County's education site, Denny's? Come on.
Probably.
So, I did want to read this email here. It says, "Dear Weird and Whatever, is this a deal breaker?" I also want to get the chat room's opinion on this very big time. So either say deal breaker or keep them. My boyfriend told me he got arrested for digging up a dead body and then playing with it. He was 16 and spent 2 years in juvenile detention. He's 32 now. He says he was doing a lot of drugs back then and claims he was visited by dark spirits regularly. He claims now he found Jesus and all that stopped. I never knew any of this until recently. We've been together for 5 months. Deal breaker or no? I want to go to Birdney on this one first. What do you think, Birdney? You find out 5 months into this. This is deal breaker or no?
That's a deal breaker. That's like he was playing with the dead body. Like that's a psychological issue that doesn't just resolve itself. And the fact that you found Jesus, I don't care if you found Jesus, Yoda, like that's not going to cure you of whatever psychotic problems that you have. I don't care if you were on drugs. Like I know lots of people that have done drugs. They're not digging up dead bodies and fondling them. That's a whole other level.
I do want to say that if you did do something horrible and you did find Yoda, I am personally invested in that. I would like to
I
explore
found
that.
Yoda. Yeah.
Yes.
But-
Denny's.
Yeah.
I think it's a natural part of growing up. You find dead bodies and play with them. So I'm just kidding. I think that's incredibly odd. I think that's got to be a psychological issue. Unfortunately, I think the same type of thing, man. That would probably have to be investigated.
And what entails playing with? You know what I mean? Is this I dig up the body and I don't know, I bowl with the head? Is it I play Twister?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it Weekend at Bernie's? What is it?
Is it Weekend at Bernie's? Beckett,
That would be the worst.
It's definitely it's definitely pre-serial killer type tendencies, and you definitely got to show that person the door right away.
Even if she's a 15 out of 10?
No, then you give it a month.
Until she kills you and then starts fondling and playing with you with Jesus.
Sounds like a win-win.
She's gonna play with Beckett's dead dick.
With all that plastic exposure I've had.
I almost feel like when people say they found Jesus, it's almost as creepy as that. Like, I don't know, it seems like so stereotypical horror movie plot line, right? Like, I'm not a serial killer anymore. I found Jesus, and then they're like killing. Like, I feel like that's a bad.
I'm not a serial killer. Yeah, if they say I'm not a serial killer anymore, and I found this or what, I mean, unfortunately, the lead is not going to get buried because you killed somebody as a serial killer. We can't really hear anything after.
But you hear that all the time, right? Like, that's just a common thing. They're like, oh, I found Jesus.
I think what happens with serial killers, especially the ones if they're saying they found Jesus, that means they've been caught. And if they've been caught, they're not out there killing anymore. And all they have is time with their thoughts. So they're going to, take that time to repent. Now, as soon as you let them out, is Jesus going to stop them? Is the question.
Yeah, like, I just feel like that's what they want. People think they think people want to hear that, because I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Well, a lot of times too, serial killers may say that to garner sympathy, so they have less of a, sentence.
Exactly.
I mean, call me old-fashioned. It's tough to trust a serial killer.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is.
I do want to read another email here. Geez. Oh, what are the people saying, Brittany?
they're like, more surprising, he found a body. Deal breaker once they mentioned Jesus. He seems to have remorse. Some people wait longer than 5 months to tell someone even more significant things. He said he did drugs. And I wonder how he got caught. So many questions. I mean, these are all good points.
Great points.
Can we point out how ironic it is, though, that he fought, like, this person has dug up dead bodies, and the person that he's drawn to is someone who died and rose from the grave? Does anyone find that ironic?
He found Jesus
And he found
a dead
of course
body.
he found Jesus. He still has the dead body fetish.
Yeah, that's an odd one for sure.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know what to tell that person other than you need to fucking run.
We all pretty much across the board. Nope.
Okay, dear weird whatever, what do you all do when you're stressed out? I overthink everything. I have OCD and panic disorder, just like you, Jaybird. How do you manage stress, Greta? Well, let's go to Denny's. Other than weed, Denny's, what's a way you manage your stress? Because you're a pretty calm and peaceful dude.
Yeah, our job could be pretty stressful, but I find accomplishing smaller tasks help. So like easy stuff, like doing the dishes real quick. I know it kind of sucks, but what's cool about doing monotonous household tasks is it cleans up a lot of the clutter around. So you're getting something done, and it makes it a lot easier to chill when things are clean. I feel like as counterproductive as it sounds when you're stressed out to go do a chore, it really does help out a lot of stuff because you get an end result benefit from it, as well as taking your mind off of things for a second.
What does in the chat room? What does Metal Beard Dan do to decompress?
I'm
Becky,
afraid
what
of what the answer.
What about you? I'm asking you, Metal Beard Dan, to get ready for your answer. Beckett, what about you?
I actually do a similar thing because I actually, like, for example, when I was in college and I had some transgressions the night before, it was almost just natural. Like I started cleaning the house. I think it automatically made me feel better. The other thing, which is a business advice thing from actually a book name, this is called Eat the Frog. And they said you should always eat the frog, which means do your hardest task first thing in the morning. Because most people try to naturally get all of the easy tasks done first, and then they have the hard ones still left and they procrastinate on it.
I like that.
Very good.
How about you, Bird? How do you blow off steam?
I blow off steam on the weekend where I can just kind of get quiet and meditate a little bit. I try to go out in nature. That helps me out greatly. I think, I can tell when I don't have some type of relationship with nature going out. I like to go out barefoot and feel the ground. When I do stuff like that, it does relax me. I find playing music and playing the guitar and learning an instrument definitely helps out with stress, or doing anything where you can be creative. I think a lot of times what happens is people start to want to be creative or do something creative and they feel silly doing it, because I think everyone wants to be so successful at everything and you think you have to be great or awesome. And it's really not about that. It's more about distracting yourself from your stressful moments. Kind of like sometimes how you play video games, Denny's. I couldn't believe how playing video games sometimes, what a great decompression that is. And it takes away a lot of sometimes OCD.
Yeah, I can see that. There's different types of games. There's some that are just purely enjoyable. Then there's some that are like competitive and stressful, like, when we play any competitive sports game or fighting game and such. But yeah, I think anything that takes your mind off of whatever's stressing you, and it's really tough to do, when you're stressed, you're like, it's all you can think about over and over in your head. And in fact, sometimes to a compulsion. And I feel that does not necessarily ever help out. It's a lot more times unproductive than it is productive. So it's probably a better way to rewire your brain to try to do things productive when you're stressed. Use that energy, harness that,
Yeah, I love it. Birdie?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, I also suffer from anxiety and everything. So I think a lot of what everyone was mentioning is good, because I feel you feel worse when you just sit there and do nothing. You're like, oh, I'm anxious and I'm depressed and I'm not doing anything productive. And then the end of the day rolls around, and if you haven't done anything, you feel even worse. So yeah, cleaning up, doing like making a checklist and just crossing off something. And then it's just important to remind yourself that there's so many times in my life where I've stressed over things that never have happened. Like I'm an overthinker as well. So I'll overthink all the possibilities of something happening, and then none of them ever happened. So I spent how many nights feeling sick to my stomach when nothing ever really happened. So I think that's important.
It's a very good point that so much that we worry about never, ever happens. Majority of it, there's a stat out there, and I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it's something like, 90% of the stuff you worry about never, ever happens, or 91%.
Yeah. And I mean, it's good to be prepared, but I've gotten to an age living with this where I'm like, okay, me worrying about this right now is literally doing nothing but making me feel ill. So it's just kind of being like, stop it, and telling yourself that, and then learning what it is and how you cope with it and how to distract yourself, and, just being like, it will be okay. If this does happen, I've thought about it. There's nothing else I can do about it right now. So.
I see what Metal Beard Dan does for him to kind of relax and decompress. He says, I go home and sit in a dark corner till I have to get up the next day for work. Look, I love sitting in the dark.
Yeah, I give that an F minus. I'm just kidding.
Ah, that's so good.
Damn.
I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. All right. We got 13 minutes left. Let's play a quick round of Would You Rather. Oh, Becky, did you give your answer?
What I would do for stress?
Yeah, because you're a wellness dude.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, guys? I find sometimes, like I deal with other, clients and brokers. I feel like sometimes I'm too laid back, and someone that's really type A and has a lot of anxiety, I find that my personality stresses them out because I'm laid back. So I've been trying to find balance of like making sure that I, kind of meet them halfway and be like, all right, I'll check in with you on this. I'll give you updates on this. You guys, I was going to ask you guys the question because Jaybird and Denny's are musically inclined. I've heard some of the best minds and some of the most productive people, if they work on the left brain all day, it's good to play an instrument for relaxation and stress relief because you're hitting different hemispheres of your brain. You guys believe in that?
Yeah, I just know for me, because I really do have a lot of legit like a panic disorder. When it decreases for me, it's always when I get the most sleep, and it's always when I have a busy mind in a fun, productive way. If I'm looking forward to things and I'm busy on that, I tend to obsess about things. So if I latch on to something I'm really into, I'll obsess about that, and that will keep me in a higher spirit. And the same thing can happen if it latches on to something that I don't like. So I got to be careful of what I latch onto. But that's also, I think, that comes with maturity. A busy mind doing something you like to do does help with all that stuff. I'm not saying it cures it, but it does help. Are you guys
For sure.
ready? I'm sorry. The lag on this thing is terrible. Let's play a quick round of Would You Rather. You guys in?
I'm in.
I said, are you in, damn it?
I'm in.
We're in!
Okay. Would you literally eat crow for the rest of your life, meaning all you could eat is crow, or have crows attack you every time you leave the house for the rest of your life? Denny's?
Close.
Crows, as in quack, quack. Denny's?
I would rather eat crow every day than have them attack me. Have you ever had a bird like F with you? You're trying to do your thing?
Yes, many times. I get at least 7 times.
It's the worst. You can't do anything. I've had flighty birds and geese. They just are rough to deal with. So I would rather eat them.
So do you hate geese then, Denny's?
No, they're just tough to deal with.
You
don't
hate
think
them?
I don't hate them. I try to eat them, I'll eat them if I need to.
All right, Birdie.
I feel like I would rather be attacked. Like I would just become really good. I would carry like a baseball bat or something. It'd become like a game to me. Just a tennis racket and hit them as I'm like going out.
Is that any way to live, Birdie?
Is there any way to die?
Interesting. I don't hate the question. Beckett.
So I think I'm going to fight them off because I feel like I'd rather deal with that nuisance than having to eat them. But I think Birdie's handle is vegan sparrow, right? Like that basically is like the antithesis of eating birds, right?
Cafe sparrow.
Cafe sparrow. Okay, got it. But yeah, I don't think I can eat crow. I definitely think I'd rather just fight them off on my way outside of the house every day, for sure.
I am never going to eat crow. I will fight those son of a bitches off every day of my life to eat my food. I'm a person that lives to eat, as you guys know.
Yes.
You take away my food. You take away my spirit. You take away my groove. You take it.
Your
You
essence.
take away me. You might as well. Yeah, my essence. Yeah.
Get 6
Exactly.
crows, bunch of crows, throw them in a chowder. I think it'd be good.
Ugh.
Crow chowder.
Crow chowder.
How would you sell me crow chowder if you were a restaurant owner in Boston?
I'd be like, this is the healthiest serving of crow chowder you'll ever have. All the crows are fed crow, so it's crow on crow chowder. That's probably what I would say.
All right. Let's see here. Would you rather have all the holes in your body closed up forever? Don't worry, you can still eat through an IV. Or wake up with your hands on your feet and your feet on your hands, along with your privates and boobs being swapped as well. So basically, your teats are now your you know.
I get
swap
it.
them. Which one do you do? Denny's.
Oh God. I probably switch my hands and my feet and my teats and my yeets. You know, I'm switching them all.
So would you rather? Is that what you're doing,
Yeah, I'm doing that one.
Bertney?
See, this is interesting as a woman because you tell me I have to close all my holes. That crosses out sex for me.
No. With that said, we will for this game. There's still a.
There's still a hole there. I could still everything else. I'm just like, but you could stick things in there. Perfect.
What about like ear holes?
For the sake of the game, you can keep your
vagina hole?
Vagina hole.
Oh, thank God.
That means
yeah, I guess that then. They'll just have to get used to me not hearing or speaking. Like I could be the perfect match for someone. I won't even hear them. They'll just fuck me, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing. I think we should keep this podcast going longer.
Bertney, it's kind of a loaded question. I was kind of in a rush today, so it's a little sloppy. There's some pun intended. There's some holes in my question.
As long
Denny's,
as
what do you
there's a
got?
vagina hole, we're good.
And don't worry, Denny's, you can keep your dick hole. It's even swap.
I was worried. I'll probably still swapping the hands and the feet and the teats.
Beckett.
I'm going Denny's path here. I'm definitely sweating the teats and all that. I'm keeping the holes.
I have two, guys. I think I'm just gonna have my hands on my feet and my balls on my teats, or whatever the combination is.
If somebody chest bumps you, that'd be rough.
Good. Well, I mean, if you wake up with a bone piece, it's gonna be on your chest.
Yeah.
You have chest boners,
Oh
dog.
my gosh, you could poke someone's eye out.
Even your own.
Wake you up by hitting you. It'll wake you up by hitting you in the face.
Oh, and you would still have your mouth. You could reach.
I still stand by dick chest.
I'm glad, dog. Stand firm in your beliefs. Don't
I
be a
do.
flip-flop, right?
I won't.
All right. And last question, because we gotta wrap this weird train up. Would you rather have an anything goes orgy in front of your parents or in front of all your coworkers at work? I mean, anything goes, which means, Beckett, everything goes. You're doing it all. Would you rather have that in front of your parents or all of your colleagues? And it's got to be a minimum of 40 colleagues.
Yeah, so I think I'll take all my colleagues to Burning Man. So everything's a little bit more okay in the context.
Nope.
The parent thing.
Yeah, you can't. You're not going to Burning Man.
Can't.
None of that. No, you're not going to Burning Man. You're going to be in a room with an air mattress, and they're all going to be in there watching.
I think I'll still go colleagues, and I think it's a roll of the dice, but there's at least a possibility it might bring us closer together. It's always going to be weird between my parents and I if that happens.
Birdney, you have the floor. You're on mute, Birdney.
I was going to say, I would definitely choose the coworkers as well, because there's just something weird about potentially making eye contact with one of your parents. And I don't think you could ever live that
You know
down.
what? I never said there's an eye contact. You know, you don't have to make eye contact.
But I'm saying, like, if they saw, like, there's potential for that happening.
Denny's?
I would do coworkers. I would only do parents if it was in one of those room of mirrors so that it's very disorienting and they can't tell really what's happening. But aside from that, I do coworkers.
They would just see every angle of your butt.
It'd be like that, Enter the Dragon scene.
Yeah, I would go ahead and do coworkers and just put on one hell of a show and just say, guys, now I would lock the door and go, now you just can't leave. And then I would just go to town and get weird. Just own it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching the Weird Whatever podcast tonight. I'm so sorry, y'all. It was shitty and choppy. Next week, we will be back. I believe that leak in the studio is going to be fixed, Denny's.
Hopefully. They've been chasing it for like a month.
Yeah,
I'm stoked.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get back in the studio. We'll get Birdney trained on the new computer stuff. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We love you all, and